McCarthy came to Spain aged 21. Celta de Vigo paid €6 million for him in the 99-2000 season, making him South Africa's most expensive player ever. He needed just 112 minutes to score his opening First Division goal, Celta's first of the campaign. It was in his home debut in Balaidos against Sevilla.
A brilliant through ball for Gustavo Lopez. Benny McCarthy alone in the middle, he puts it away! Goal for Celta Vigo! Goal for McCarthy!
His first season with Victor Fernandez's outfit was to be the South Africans' best, scoring 8 Liga goals and a famous brace against Juventus in the UEFA Cup. He also made a mark on one of La Liga's hardest fought derbies, the Galician version. Against Super Depor, Liga leaders, Benny McCarthy opened the scoring in what would end up as a Celta win over their fierce local rivals.
Gustavo Lopez with a drop with the shoulder. Puts the ball into the box. It's a dangerous looking ball. McCarthy clips it over Songo. And Celta take the lead in the Galician derby.
McCarthy really made his name in Vigo for his outstanding participation in Celta's Intertoto Cup winning campaign in 2000, when he fully demonstrated his pace and the advantage he could take of his position near the rival area. McCarthy had plenty of ability, as he showed when scoring the best goal he grabbed in Spain in the Romareda.
Moss the boy looking to put McCarthy through. Celta continue the build-up. It falls to McCarthy, flicks it over the Zaragoza defence, and what a goal! What a strike from the South African! He opens the scoring in La Romareda after 35 minutes.
With Celta, he made a total of 66 Liga appearances, scoring 10 goals, helping qualify the Sky Blues for the Champions League, before moving on to pastures new in Portugal. Benedict Saul McCarthy had begun his European career, a career which turned him into a legend in his home country.
Icon of the day in his native country, South Africa. Benny McCarthy started his football career in Europe with Celta Vigo, but interestingly went on to win the Portuguese title and also the Cup in Portugal, not forgetting the biggest club competition trophy on planet Earth, the UEFA trophy. And this time around was celebrating an African who indeed did well not only for his country South Africa, but for the continent of Africa. Benny McCarthy. Indeed, on the show this afternoon, we shall celebrate much more as far as African footballers are concerned. On that note, sport fans, I bid you good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting edition of your sports program on TV. It is Christian, the Sports Edge on Galaxy Television. Miyen Akiri is my name. Once again, it's time to thrill, inform, and entertain you in the ever exciting world of sport. As we speak, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are in Kaduna, and there is a press parley ongoing in their camp, and we shall be keeping you updated as far as everything concerning the Super Eagles ahead of their cracker against the Pharaohs of Egypt is concerned. A lot is happening ahead of the game. The players are talking tougher. They are looking forward to the exciting atmosphere in Kaduna. The fans were also, during their training, Alex Iwobin and Jonathan Mikel backing the fans to indeed be the 12th man when the Super Eagles host the Pharaohs of Egypt. 5 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow, and it promises to be football at its peak. Welcome once again. Joining me on the show this afternoon is Dabo Shotsmino. I am Miyen Akiri. Dabo, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
And it's just a few hours to the big game, the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt. The Egyptians arrived the country at about 7:30 p.m. last night, and interestingly, they changed their hotel, not lodging in the hotel given to them by the Nigerian Football Federation.
Well, it's okay. That's where they think they will get their comfort. But the bottom line is they should just report to the pitch, the Ahmadu Bello Stadium on Friday evening, and let's tango. Let's play the football. The players, Nigerian players, now I'm so happy with what is happening, with them. Already they are doing very well in their various clubs, and they are around now. All the top invited foreign-based players, they are in Kaduna now, and they are all talking tough, just like me said. Ahmed Musa, who is the captain of the team, said there's no way the Pharaohs will defeat the Eagles. Even Alex Iwobi is talking very tough. He wants to replicate what he did against against Tottenham in the English Premiership. So also, Mikel Obi is going to hold very tight to the midfield, and continue to create, chances to score goals. The bottom line is Nigeria picking the 3 points at stake in Kaduna and going ahead to Alexander on March 29th to do the same.
Well, reports reaching us from Kaduna has it that the players indeed have been awesome in training, and then the shining light amongst the players in camp. You have the likes of Victor Moses wowing the fans. You also have Alex Iwobi, indeed the Arsenal youngster, showing some brilliant stuff in training. And then Coach Samson Siasia says he's happy that the Nigerian is fully fit to face the Pharaohs of Egypt if selected.
Yes, the fitness of Iwobi is against the backdrop of the reports we got earlier in the week that he had food poisoning. There was also a report that he had flight flu and stuff like that. But the thing is, he's 100% fit. He's as fit as fiddle. He's going to play against the Pharaohs of Egypt. And some of his teammates, in Arsenal, some Egyptians, are even saying, oh, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be easy for Nigeria. But the players, including Victor Moses, have made it very clear that we are going to dump the Pharaohs right there in Kaduna.
Well, it's interesting to know that some new faces in the team are hoping to make their debut for the Super Eagles, according to reports reaching us from Kaduna. Taking a look at what the training has been like so far, we understand that Olympic team trio of Stanley Amuzie, who plies his trade in Italy, Matthew Etin and Okechukwu Azubikin could make their debut against the Pharaohs of Egypt. And it seems those players have played their way into the heart of Coach Samson Yeboisiasia.
Yeah, I trust when it comes to this, when it comes to top players, most of them are known to us, but they've been monitored by Samson Siasia. When it comes to that, I trust Siasia very well. He was the one that actually even brought, the likes of Emmanuel Emenike, Victor Moses, when we didn't even know them at all. So for these new players, to make the team, I'm very sure they are going to perform. And this is not, the opposite side of what we got when Sunday Olise was in charge. This one is practical football, and definitely Nigeria will triumph against the Pharaohs.
Well, Carl Ikeme says that the match against the Pharaohs of Egypt will be his biggest test so far, while donning the jersey or the color of Nigeria. So indeed, the Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper looking forward to the big game against the Pharaohs of Egypt, and indeed, they know how important this game is.
Yeah, well, he is also for his own, despite the fact that he's playing in the championship. He's also very regular for for his club, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he has been doing very well. And he's also optimistic. When a player comes to camp and is optimistic of victory of as a goalkeeper defending the goal, because he's the last man in defense, and he's saying, I'm okay, I'm going to defend the goal, Nigeria's territorial integrity firmly against the Pharaohs, then he should actually thump such a player up.
Well, it is also good to know that the Egyptians are wishing the Eagles good luck. This is so because El Nene, who plies his trade in the EPL with Arsenal Football Club, is wishing Alex he will be quick recovery, and he says he will be happy to see the Nigerian file out against the Pharaohs of Egypt. And you know God answers good prayers, and indeed we know this prayer is answered. Well, Omar Akatuba indeed caught up with Victor Obina Nsofo in Germany, and Victor Obina Nsofo is also looking forward to the match against the Pharaohs of Egypt. You know, Nsofo plied his trade at some point in time in the Italian Serie A with the likes of Chievo Verona, played in England, but right now the young man is in Germany and is also hoping that in the future he could get an invite to the national team. Omar Katuba caught up with him. Let's indeed listen to Omar Katuba's job with Victor Obina Nsofo. When we come back, all things being equal, we should be getting across to Omar Akatuba in Germany. It's the program Sport Edge, the station Galaxy Television.
Friday, a very make or break encounter. Egypt stands in our way of qualifying for the African Nations Cup. You have been a very integral part of the Super Eagles. Do you think that the current Super Eagles have got all it takes to beat Egypt and qualify to the Nations Cup?
Yes, I think the current Super Eagles with the crop of players that we have, I think they're capable of winning against Egypt. The most important thing is to believe in themselves. This is very vital. It's a very crucial game for us because it's a win or win, not to win or lose. Especially if you're playing against a tough team like Egypt. You know, it's like a rivalry game in Africa, as far as I'm concerned, and especially this game is very important. I believe that we can win this game as long as the entire team, they believe on their capability. I believe that, of course, we can win it. We can win both games, but it goes along with determination, with a lot of sacrifice, with a lot of to pay attention on details, and also someone like Samson Siasia, who I know very well. He's highly capable of getting that result that Nigeria wants.
Thank you.
Well, Victor Obina Nsofo highlighting how important the match against the Pharaohs will be tomorrow, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And then he says there is this rivalry between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt. He understands that. He's done the jersey before. He knows how important this game is to Nigeria and the players.
The rivalry has been there, far back as 1960. That was the first time Nigeria played, against Egypt. Against the most notable one was in 1977, ahead of the Argentina 78 World Cup. Was defeated, Nigeria defeated Egypt 4-1, and now we are waiting to replicate that on Friday after Jumat, and I believe definitely it's definitely going to be victory for Nigeria.
Well, that was Shotimini says after Jumat, and we also know Friday is Good Friday. Interestingly, a doubled one for Nigeria, back-to-back game. Nigeria, the Pharaohs of Egypt. Well, let's indeed see if Omar Akatuba is live on the line all the way from Germany. Omar Akatuba, good afternoon to you. How is Germany?
Which means that a sword is the image of God.
Thanks, Omar. You're in Germany, and interestingly, the Super Eagles players who are not invited by Coach Samson Siasia for this encounter have also been talking, about the game against the Pharaohs of Egypt. We listen to Victor Obina Nsofo, and he says it's a win-win for Nigeria. And that shows how important this game is, Omar.
Absolutely, Miyen. This is a make or break encounter for Nigeria. You know that we are 4 points on the table. Egypt has got 6 points. Tanzania won their game yesterday to tie on 4 points with Nigeria, which means that Nigeria needs to win against Egypt and at least get a draw in the second leg to be in a comfortable position in order to qualify for the Nations Cup. You must know that there is only one ticket to be won in this group, and you have Egypt standing in our way, which means that we must beat Egypt, whether we like it or not, to stand a chance of qualifying. Interestingly, Obi now suffered made his debut at the Nations Cup in the same country, Egypt, in 2006. And of course, he scored a goal in Nigeria's campaign in that tournament. And this is a man who understands, you know, this level of football and has been a part of the Super Eagles before. And of course, still very open to be a part of the Super Eagles in the future. So overall, it's a big game for Nigeria. The biggest game that this current Super Eagles team will face. I hope that they can get the result.
Well, before the likes of Elvis Chejili, arrived the country for this encounter, you spoke with Elvis, you've met with some players in Europe, trying to see, their psychological level, for the match against the Pharaohs of Egypt. Back home in Nigeria, Samson Yeboisiasa says he's really happy because he has a young squad and is getting a blend of youth and experience. What have they been saying before they got down to Nigeria, talking about the match against Egypt, the foreign-based players that you caught up with?
Well, me and Elders Chejile, I was with him in Monaco, and of course he was very positive. He said to me that if Nigeria decides to play football, there's no team in Africa that can beat Nigeria. He was very emphatic. He said to me that, there's a new spirit in camp. Samson Siasa is someone who is very, very, cerebral. Is someone who is very welcoming. The Nigerian footballers like Samson Siasa because he's welcoming. So it brings a lot of confidence to the team, and the players believe that there's a new spirit, and this new spirit is what will spur the Eagles on to greatness. I was with Kenneth Romero in Turkey. Unfortunately, he's injured. He will not be playing in this game. And he also said that they're looking forward to building a new Super Eagles, and the players right now are beginning to play well for their clubs. There's also Godfrey Obabona, who plays for Rizespor. I was with him as well, and it's been positive vibes from Nigerian players across Europe.
Well, we hope indeed they will be able to translate that to victory. But you are in Germany as we speak. A Nigerian player was invited to the national team. But later on, at about 24 hours ago, we got the news in Nigeria that Leon Balogun will not be available. Before now, it was obvious that Leon Balogun was injured. But then Samson Yeboisiasa and the technical crew were open to see if Leon Balogun will be available for the second leg against the Egyptians. But sadly, the club released a statement that Balogun will not be a part of this encounter. How has it been, with the Nigerian in Germany?
Interestingly, I am in contact with Leon Balogun. We communicate regularly via WhatsApp. The day the team list was released, I spoke to him and I said to him that I think there's a bad news. It looks like you are not invited for this game against Egypt. And he said to me that he had this funny feeling that, after the departure of Sunday Olise, there could be, a reason not to invite him, by the new coaches. And I said to him, maybe there's a mistake somewhere. I did my investigation, and it was true that he was excluded. I spoke to him, I said, you're not in the squad. Then of course there was an internet backlash. Then Samson Siasa had to rethink, record him. After that beautiful 90-minute display against Bayern Munich, when Mainz won in München by 2-1, it was almost, unacceptable that such a player would not be invited. Of course he was invited, and in training, ahead of their match against Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga, he picked up a groin injury and he was ruled out. That's just the story. The young man is sad. He's always excited to play for Nigeria, and I can tell you, he's very down as we speak.
Well, let's take a look at them other Nigerian players out there in Germany. And to the Uja also flies straight to the Bundesliga at some point in time. It was with Cologne Football Club, the team that at the point in time paraded Podolski who once played for Arsenal Football Club, but right now he's doing business with Werder Bremen. What's the Nigerian family like in Germany?
The family is fluctuating. It goes up and it comes down. You know, before now we had Victor Binansofor. Sorry, I beg your pardon. We had what's his name, Chinedu Obasi for Schalke 04. We had, of course, Anthony Uja, who was then playing for Cologne. That was basically the Nigerian contingent in Germany. But of course, it increased with Victor Binansofor coming. And of course, of recent, we've seen Taiwo Awoniyi join FSV Frankfurt. And of course, Victor Osimhen, who has joined VfL Wolfsburg, which means that the Nigerian contingent in Germany is growing. So right now, I can say that we have Victor Binansofor, although playing in the second division. Anthony Uja is the leader of the Nigerian contingent in Germany. He scored about 14 goals this season. He plays regularly for Werder Bremen. And of course, Victor Osimhen has joined Wolfsburg, and more, I'm sure, will come to Germany as time goes.
And then when we talk about more at this point in time, on the final notes, or the second to the last question, Taiwo Awoniyi is right now on dual teaming with Nigeria in Brazil. And you recall the last time Nigeria-Brazil played a match at this level. That was way back in Atlanta, 1996. It's all about preparation for the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. And as we speak, the Nigerians will be looking forward to parading themselves or give a good account of themselves against Brazil. But looking at Brazil as a country, Omar, news reaching us has it that the sports minister in Brazil has resigned ahead of the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. I'll be trained out to Dabo Shotiminimo in the studio, but then Omar just give us a few seconds and on there, Dabo. Before Omar gets to have a judge on the Taiwo Awoniyi angle on the under-23 team, the Brazilian sports minister, Orlando Silva, has resigned amid corruption allegations.
Over time, the number of months now, let's say about 2 months specifically, there have been reports of, issue of drug use by, Brazilian athletes. And even aside from that, the preparation also in terms of facilities on ground, a lot of facilities are not on ground now, and even the workers who have been employed to, for construction work, some of them are down tooled over time, much that facilities that are that it's timely framed for it to be completed, are just dragging. The last time the Nigerian contingent went to Brazil, to Rio specifically, with the NOC president, the NOC secretary general, and even the sports minister, the Nigerian sports minister, they went there and they came back with a report that for them facilities are in top tier. But for the International Olympic Committee, they are not satisfied with what is on ground, and everything now rests on the sports minister, Brazil. And for him to have resigned at this point in time, for them there may be the right step in the right direction. But I don't know. But it's not good for international sport, at this point, just a few months to the Olympics. The Olympics will start in August. And for the sport minister that started this whole thing in the last 4 years, to resign at this point in time is not a good signal. But by and large, everything is going on fine. And don't also forget that they have the issue of health, the Zika, virus and stuff like that. But that's notwithstanding. The sport minister should not at this point, drop his pen and say it's no longer, going on with the plans for the Rio Olympics.
But there is an allegation that it took kickbacks of up to $23 million and channeled that into his NGO and that into also his party and all that. And at this point in time, a country that has been complaining about the lack of basic amenities, going into the 2014 World Cup. They said it was too expensive after the 2014 World Cup. People were looking forward to the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, and with just a few months to the Olympic Games, now we're being told that the sports minister of Brazil, Orlando Silva, has been forced to resign. But then, Omar, looking at Nigeria, Brazil today, the under-23s, we have the likes of Taiwo Awoniyi, who does business in Germany. Interestingly, is a player of Liverpool, but unknown to Germany at this point in time. What has it been like for Taiwo Awoniyi in Germany, adapting, to the footballing situation and the culture of the Germans?
Very good question, Miyen. I like that. It's been very difficult for the young man. Germany is a highly disciplined nation, and that also reflects in their football. If you look at the history of Nigerian players in Germany, you would agree with me, it's not been too fantastic. Not a lot of Nigerian players come here and find it easy to cope. For Taiwo Awoniyi, the German second division, between me and you, is one of the toughest in the world. You look at the record of Taiwo Awoniyi since joining FSV Frankfurt, or FSV in German. It's not been too palatable. He's not played too many games. I don't think he has even played up to 3 games if you look at the record. But I hope that as time goes on, he will get to play more games, which would help his confidence. And of course, come to help the national team of Nigeria. Because at the under-23 level, the coaches are so much hoping that people like Taiwo Awoniyi, people like Victor Osimhen, after their exploits at the under-17 level, would begin to, to graduate into the under-23 to help the team. But away from that, Victor Osimhen said to me when we met some few days ago that he has played in so many countries in the world, but he can say categorically that the German football is the most organized he has seen in his life. And Germany as a country, for him, is the most organized nation. That he's so impressed with what he's seen so far, even though he has been to many countries in the world, he can say that Germany for him is the best place to be. So I hope that all this can be some positive for players like Taiwo Awoniyi, and going forward, Victor Osimhen, when he finally moves to Wolfsburg.
Well, indeed, I must say a very big thank you, Miyen Akiri, for talking to Rosa live on the show all the way from Germany. And I'm sure the organization Victor Benonsofo, has been saying on a positive note that you're having fun, with sport and lifestyle in Germany.
Of course. Thank you. I'm enjoying every bit of it.
Many thanks once again, Miyen Akiri, and indeed it's been nice having a Jojo with you live on the show. Alright, that was Miyen. Many thanks. Well, that was Miyen Akiri talking to us live all the way from Germany, and that we're back to you in the studio.
Yeah.
Well, looking at the big game, and we'll be taking a look at our other group opponents. Tanzania, interestingly, played against Chad, and as we speak, Tanzania also leveled on 4 points with the Super Eagles. Their first win as far as Group G is concerned.
Well, good for them because they are looking at the possibility of playing, in the Nations Cup. But in a group where you have, Tanzania, Chad, Nigeria, and, Egypt, I'm not too happy that we are in this difficult situation now, because I really want to blame coaches, those who took charge of the team, in the matches against Tanzania and even Chad, for them to, falter the way they faltered. I'm not too happy about that, and I really want to say, we don't want that kind of experience again. Then now we have everything in our hands. It is in our hands to qualify for the Nations Cup after not, featuring in the last edition of the Nations Cup. This time around, Gabon 2017, definitely, and I'm sure after Friday, we'll be sure that we'll be going to Gabon 2017.
Well, as we look forward to the match against the Pharaohs of Egypt, let's celebrate some African legends. This time around, we'll be celebrating one man who started his European football career also in Spain. Earlier, we brought Ben McCarthy to you. He started with Celta Vigo out there in Spain. Idris Kameni is a goalkeeper, and he hails from Cameroon. Let's indeed take a look at this wonderful African who indeed has stopped penalty while standing in between the sticks from great players like Ronaldo Nazario de Lima, even the Ronaldo of Real Madrid as we speak, and other great players in world football. Let's indeed celebrate this Cameroonian. When we come back, we shall be taking you to the camp of the Super Eagles. It's the program Sport Edge, the station, Galaxy Television.
It's true that I still have 2 years left on my contract. Everything is going well, and I'm happy at the club and with the fans and the city. My family is very happy. It's nice living here in Malaga. Seeing out my contract is down to the club, who have to agree to it. For me, the most important thing is to keep enjoying my football and give the fans something to cheer about every weekend.
Carlos Kameni is happy in Malaga. He feels at home on the Costa del Sol, not only because he's cemented a place in the starting lineup, but also because he gets the chance to enjoy his other hobbies in his free time, music and God.
I love music. It forms a part of my life. It allows me to relax and be calm at all times. It also helps you to get rid of any stress. I can show you some of my music so you can see what it's like. I believe in God. On Sundays I go to Mass at 12 if I can, and I don't have a match.
The Cameroon goalkeeper arrived in the Spanish League 11 years ago. His destination was Espanyol. He quickly stood out because of his agility between the sticks and his gift for keeping out penalty kicks.
2004 was the year I made my debut in Spain, and no one knew me. It's true that I came when I was very young, and that same season I stopped 4 out of 6 penalties. It doesn't matter whose penalty I stopped. I faced Ronaldo, Baptista, Jorge Lopez from Mallorca, Fernando Torres, all of them big names. In the end, it means your teammates can trust their keeper to stop penalties. It's something that makes you feel great.
He didn't arrive at Espanyol by chance. He chose the Catalan club because it was where his idol Nkono played. And he didn't only learn from the master, but the apprentice moved ahead, beating Thomas's clean sheet club record.
It's very special when you begin and run like that. You don't realize what you're doing. As matches go by, the record starts to grab your attention. But I hadn't really thought about it. I was just enjoying playing every weekend and keeping clean sheets. When I beat the record the evening before the match, I spoke with my mentor, Thomas Nkono, and he was very calm about it. When I passed his record, he told me how happy he was because of what I'd achieved. It's something that's gone down in the history of the game, so I'm pleased with that.
At Espanyol, Kameni enjoyed tremendous performances, such as the memorable derby against Barcelona in the Camp Nou when he was unbeatable. But after losing his key role in the team, Carlos Kameni left Espanyol in January 2012 and moved to his current club, Malaga. His only aim was to play regularly.
It's true that when I left Espanyol to go to Malaga, I just had one ambition: to play. If a player thinks he isn't going to play, he won't change clubs. When I signed for Malaga, I wanted to play, but I had to admit that Willie was in top form. I just had to keep training hard until I got my chance. I waited, and I got my turn.
With the arrival of Javi Gracia to the Malaga dugout, the Cameroon shot-stopper's fortunes changed. With the new manager, Malaga's goal took on an African tone.
With Javi, it's cool. He arrived and made it clear he had confidence in me. He told me he wanted to see the Carlos Kameni of Espanyol. I made him see that Carlos Kameni had never died. He just needed to be given the confidence. I kept working hard like I'd always done, and in the end all the work bore fruit.
Malaga haven't had the best of starts to the Liga BBVA this season, but Carlos Kameni is one of the tournament's most reliable keepers. Now it's up to Javi Gracia's side to keep working hard in order to achieve their objectives.
I want to take it one day at a time. I want to prepare myself well during the week so I can work well at the weekend, not letting goals, and help the team. That will help the team to get into safety first of all, and then to look for bigger goals.
That's the life of Carlos Kameni, a man who's proud of what he's achieved at Malaga, and who has found the balance he needs to feel happy and fulfilled.
Hi, I'm Carlos Kameni of Malaga, and I'd like to send my warmest greetings to all the fans of Focus on Africa.
Kameni, one fantastic goalkeeper, did very well while he stood between the sticks for Espanyol Football Club, and right now he's in business with Malaga in Spain. But then earlier on, we told you we'll be taking you to the camp of the Super Eagles, and then reports reaching us at a Sporting Time has it that John Obi Mikel has been confirmed as the new captain of the Super Eagles. That's breaking, and indeed that has been confirmed by the head coach of the Super Eagles. Now going into the match against the Pharaohs of Egypt, Mikel, the new captain of the Super Eagles.
I'm so proud of that, the development. I'm happy that, Siasia. It's a fantastic coach from South. You cannot compare him with the man that left. You can't compare them, but making Mikel, the captain of the team, I'm so elated with that. It's a delightful news to me, because after Vincent Nyama, he was assistant captain to Vincent Nyama. And when Vincent, was forced out of the team, automatically, Mikel should step in. But Siasia saw it, and now he has done the right thing. And I'm so happy about that. Happy that Mikel has taken his rightful place in the Super Eagles. He has been there for so long. He's a senior player to Musa just came, some years ago. Seniority counts when you are selecting your captain. And for Lise to push aside, Mikel, and almost pushed him out of the team, it was quite a very, sudden development. But now we have a square peg now. Square. Now I'm sure everything will go on fair, and I'm very, very definite that Mikel will motivate the Super Eagles to victory.
Well, Mikel now saddled with the responsibility of qualifying Nigeria as captain of the Super Eagles to the AFCON tournament in Gabon. So indeed, you can go tell it on the mountain everywhere. John Obi Mikel is now the new captain of the Super Eagles. So, Captain Mikel, we wish you the best of luck on the Good Friday when the Super Eagles file out against the Pharaohs of Egypt. Let's indeed take a look at the dream team. They will be up against Brazil later today, tonight precisely, and it promises to be one game that Nigerians will look forward to. Fatai Folorunsho Amao indeed is the assistant coach, but then is the head of delegation as far as the coaching department is concerned to Brazil for this encounter with Siasia Sadur, with the responsibility of tutoring the Eagles against the Pharaohs of Egypt. But then let's take a look at what is happening in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Yesterday it was one interesting day as far as football is concerned, from Lobby Stars Football Club, who indeed altered the unbeaten run of Rangers International of Enugu. Their 6 matches unbeaten streak came to an end, and the player scored a hat-trick in that encounter. 3 goals to 1 it ended, but the big one was in the city of Lagos, the center of excellence, and that one. And before we take a look at the game proper in Lagos, one way or the other, Lagosians and then those behind sports in Lagos are trying to prove a point, not only to Lagosians, not only to the fans across the country, but to a large extent, the Football Federation, those who run football in Nigeria. There is nothing, there is no place, with all humility and with all due respect to other states. When it comes to football, there was this tradition at the National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos. And for years, Lagosians were deprived of having a team in the Nigeria Professional Football League where fans can come out and support them. Thanks to MFM, thanks to Ikorodu United, now we're seeing interesting games and fans coming out en masse, not on the weekend, on the working day, to the stadium at Agege, and it was also yesterday, Kano Pillars, MFM Football Club.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day yesterday in the history of Nigerian, Premier League, Premier Football League. Very, very historic. That was the kind of fans and spectators I saw yesterday. The 5,000 capacity stadium was filled to the brim, and we had almost 2,000 people looking around outside the stadium, trying to make their way into the arena. But what I saw yesterday, takes me back to what we saw last at the Taribo and Friends, football game in Lagos, where you had, spectators sitting around on the tartan tracks. This one we had soccer spectators hanging everywhere.
But you do more of the talking, after our fans or viewers, most of them, seeing for themselves, what happened last night at the Agege Stadium. This match started past 7 in the evening. And I recall at some point in time I was talking to a former board member of the then Nigeria Football Association, and what I was being told was that Lagos don't have what it takes, to host the Super Eagles at the sporting time. But let's check out what happened between MFM and Kano Pillars Football Club. Come to Super Sport, let's bring you the highlights. When we come back, Samuel Suboyejo will be joining us live on set.
We have the experience of the players in Kano Pillars.
Fine. The Nigeria Junior International. Set. Natalie is the only one behind the ball. Fine. Concentration. The referee asking the wall to be steady. Free kick will come now. Ifeanyi. Oh! So that was a brilliant free kick, but it just took a little heat on the upright and went away. The players on the bench almost rose to celebrate a goal, but the free kick didn't quite go into the net. MFM, they come attacking again. Oh, beautiful ball, opportunity for MFM! It's not there! That would have been a beauty of a goal, but just didn't go in. From Olatunbosun. I keep confusing Newman with Olatunbosun, but that's actually Newman.
He created space for himself, but his direction was pretty poor otherwise. Goalkeeper dead.
Corner kick. It is an in-swinger headed out there. Opportunity! A classic goal there. Kano Pillars defense taken apart, torn into shreds. The celebration that greets the first goal for MFM. Kano Pillars, they came under severe pressure.
Brilliant technique on his part. He had the confidence to catch the ball, take it over a defender, and hit it with his left foot. Yes, it might have ricocheted off somebody, but it's brilliant technique on his part.
For him to have hit ball with his weaker foot speaks volume about his abilities to hit that ball. Okorom Stanley.
Okorom Stanley, the defender, went forward and forced a fantastic goal. The technique was simply sumptuous. Just at the ball and hit it on a volley. And in took a little bit of deflection. Caterpillars, they have their hands full here. But again they break. At the far side. Ball in. Opportunity for equalizer. Kende! Great goalkeeping from Ayeyemi. And Adamu Kendo, he can't believe it.
Brilliant thinking on his part. One would have thought that he would have gone for goal, but instead he squared the ball for Alhaji Adamu there. And Alhaji's shot was well parried by James Ayeyemi. Now this is the James we all know, unlike the James we saw in Ibadan that considered 3 goals in 35 minutes.
Corner kick taken there. Caterpillars searching for the equalizer. Akiri. Got some good left foot. Foley can get the ball to his right left foot to cross, but he loses footing. Akiri takes away his marker. It is penalty. Was right in the box. Started to move just at the edge of the box. And has got one leg in. His feet were striding at the box. And at the end, it is penalty.
MFM players have themselves to blame. He just took it off me on this occasion. Yes, he was stripped outside the 18, but Caterpillars have been on the ascendancy for the past few minutes on that occasion. Bashiru Monsiru was not tactical at all. He practically clattered into Prince Akiri on that occasion. And referee Joseph Ode felt it was indeed a penalty. Of course, I've seen him miss against SDY in a match and then 2-2.
Rabi Ali against Ayeyemi, the penalty for Caterpillars, opportunity to equalize. The referee asking Ayeyemi, the goalkeeper, to stand on his line. The whistle to be blown by him. The whistle goes. It's Ali, Rabiu Ali, 1-1. Great celebration. Hugging there on the bench.
A wonderful atmosphere it was last night at the Agege Stadium. If you missed out on that, then you should be looking forward to another electrifying moment when indeed the MFM will be playing the Flying Antelopes, Rangers International of Enugu. And then that team and one team Dartmoor.
Yes.
We have another divided attention.
Well, we'll be going for victory for that. If it is, Rangers against the Ikorodu United now, attention could be divided. But this one, loyalty definitely will be for Rangers. But yesterday, it was fantastic. But the turning point there yesterday for me, and later on I was able to commend the LMC, commended Mr. Nduka Rabo and the team, for putting Nigeria back on the pedestal when the issue is Premier League football. The attention has always been on foreign league, the EPL, the Bundesliga, the Liga and stuff like that. But yesterday, we saw football coming back home to Nigeria. And the turning point was, at the end of the day, the crowd, they comported themselves in a very peaceful atmosphere. That's why the fact that midway,
of Caterpillars,
we saw the love there
to cheer the team.
They allowed you to cheer your team, and there was no fracas, nothing of any form of eventualities. I was so happy about yesterday, and I believe Nigeria, league will still forge higher than that.
Well, joining us on the show this afternoon, we have Shoboyejo Samuel. Samuel, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you.
Well, indeed, you saw the Nigeria Professional Football League game last night. You were at the Agege Stadium, and what an atmosphere it was, Samuel.
Yes, it was an electric atmosphere. For the first time in a long time, we saw the game being played under floodlights. The Caterpillars fans hailing their team, the MFMs and the neutrals came out to watch at the Agege Town Stadium. It was a good one.
And then were you able to get somewhere to sit while you were in the stadium?
Well, for people who came late, the stadium was filled to capacity. It was a 5,000 capacity, which meant more than 5,000 people came to watch the game. So a lot of
close to 5,000.
Yeah. So a lot of people came to watch. But I was able to sit down. Thank God, I was able to sit down.
And then you enjoyed the best of football.
Yeah.
Well, taking a look at other results, Lobby Stars defeated Rangers International of Enugu, the team that was showman who supports 3-1, like Rangers, like Arsenal, Niger Tornadoes 2, City Stars 1, FC Fayuba 1, Atlant 0, Giwa FC 1, you had El Kanema Warriors 1, Aqua United holding Warri Wolves to a goalless draw, or rather Warri Wolves holding Aqua United were playing at home to a goalless draw. Abia Warriors, Wicked Tourists, indeed ended goalless. Rivers United, Sunshine Stars goalless, and then what we just saw now, the game, MFM, Kano Pillars 1-all. But then, Rivers United head coach has been given a 3-match ultimatum to indeed win or get fired. Stanley Iguma, coach of Rivers United, now under pressure.
Yeah, for Stanley Iguma and his Rivers United side, they've not really done fantastic since when they've united to become
Rivers United,
Dolphins and Sharks
being merged
together. The Yakubu Gowon Stadium has not really seen a lot of goals from Rivers United. I think they've managed a win in their last 3 games. So
and they are 11th on the log.
And 11th on the log. So I think it's when they give coaches ultimatum in the Nigerian league, it's because they want him to perform better, not because it's sack, but not because they want to sack him, but just because they want to make the team raise the team up.
But this time around, it could mean that Guma, who indeed has been a coach of Dolphins, while the Dolphins now Rivers United, may probably get the boot if results don't change, because the government has said they've invested so much in this team, being merged from Sharks and Dolphins to one team. Now, going by the expected rule of FIFA, where a sponsor cannot have 2 teams in the league. And then sports-wise on this, we should commend, those behind this. But then for Stanley Iguma, not sleeping with his 2 eyes closed at this junction.
At this point, he has to brace up. He has to brace up. They give him an ultimatum, and he has to work very hard for the team to win. Just like Ikorodu United did, they give the coach in charge, they give him a red card, win, and he refused to win. Now Sam Okpodu has taken over. He will be tinkering the team. First time today, far away Nasarawa. And I believe, and I hope so, I also pray for them for victory, because, Sam Okpodu is a man after my heart. I will always support him anywhere he is, anywhere.
I would ask this question publicly. I wouldn't ask behind the camera. Were you the brain behind Sam Okpodu coming to Ikorodu United?
No,
I know
not
love Ikorodu United passionately.
Not at all. But I was the brain behind his coming at 2003 when he was the chief coach of the Super Falcons. But this time around, I don't know how he got to Ikorodu United. But as long as he's there, I have no option than to support Ikorodu United. And also, the players too, they don't have any option than to play well, because they're fully professional side. As I said the other time, they had about 20 people paid who had committed 1 million each, and 200 people have paid 50,000 for a season ticket.
But you see, we will indeed take a look at this on the show, because for the very first time in a long while, we're seeing a privately run club, and then also, amounts of money that has been invested in the club, being said publicly. It's unusual and unlike of clubs in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Finally, as we go, Samuel John Obemikel, the new captain of the Super Eagles, his first task will be the match against the Pharaohs of Egypt.
Yeah, for John Obemikel, it's a good one. The Chelsea man, he has been in the Super Eagles for a long time. He's one of the only 2 survivors from the 2010 clash, Egypt-Nigeria. So him alongside others in the Chijide. So I think it's a good one for him. He has gathered a lot of experience, and I think that experience is vital for the team, and I think that is why Sia has picked him ahead of Ahmed Musa to be the new Super Eagles captain.
I must say very big thank you, Debo Shotimina, and also Samuel Shibuya for finding out time to come on the show. But you out there, indeed, make it a day tomorrow for Friday's edition, the D-Day. It's of a Good Friday, and indeed we will have a good day on the show. Till we come your way again, Miyen Akiri, and from the entire production crew will bid you good afternoon.
We look to Natasha Hastings in 5, an indoor personal best of 50.80 seconds. She's flying, is Hastings down the back straight. Paul's not making too much ground up, but she's moving well for Jamaica in lane number 3. Patak of Poland. Bangbos of Nigeria. But it's the experience of Natasha Hastings that goes through the first 200 metres, and Pastor, the Romanian, trying to hold on to the coattails of Natasha Hastings. There's a fall. Jamaica have gone. Jamaica have gone, but Hastings leads the way. So it's the USA that lead. And it's a big lead that's growing in this women's 4x4 final.
Impressive run by Hastings. Well, they're clear favourites. Jamaica was second favourites, but all crashed out. Hastings now pass over to Canera Hayes, who of course ran well in the individual. Huge lead. It's all about the USA, but sadly for Jamaica, their hopes crashed in just that first leg.
Well, Hayes is flying a bronze in the individual event at the 400 metres. The battle, though, for silver, for bronze. Hayes is flowing nicely round in this final. Lavric for Romania, they're in silver, then Nigeria, then Poland. But we can't keep the other teams in shot because at the moment Hayes is flying down the back straight. She'll hand on to Courtney Akolo, the world leader. But look at the battle.